I don't know how many of you have noticed, but I'm doing my A-levels in half the time of the rest of you, and there's a reason for that. It's because for the past 2 years I've been on a mission, and I am on a mission to find a good way of life, and part of that mission has been getting myself an education. So while I've been at it, I've learned a few things, and today I'm going to share them with you. Number 1, love and respect your parents. When I came to college this year, I was holding a lot of anger in my heart, and it was poisoning me because I was angry at my parents, and this was causing me a lot of problems. It really shaped my attitude towards life from about the age of 16, and really changed the way I've been living. Not in a good way. So I knew I was having some difficulties. I came into the college and I asked around if there was a counsellor, and there isn't a counsellor at Ealing Independent College. Thankfully, however, there is Liz. And I went downstairs and talked to Liz. Liz immediately made space for me. She booked in some time for me to see her the next day. I went in to the conference room downstairs with Liz, and I opened up to Liz, talked to her. I opened up about maybe some of the pain and suffering that happened in childhood that maybe was the fuel for the fire of some of this anger. And I even cried in front of Liz. And so I just want to say thank you, Liz, for supporting me, because it means everything. And then I realised something, after this. I realised that my parents are just people, but they are the people that gave me life. And so, maybe they're not perfect, maybe they made some mistakes, maybe not everything was always easy, but I've got to be thankful for my parents. I've got to love and respect my parents, because they are the only reason that I am here now. That was lesson number 1, love and respect your parents. Lesson number 2, unconditional self-love. You see, after I stopped blaming my problems on my parents, on something outside of myself, I began peeling back the layers of my own heart and peering within. And as I did this, what I found was a lot of insecurity. And so, what do you do? A lot of insecurity. What I did was I decided that I was going to start facing some of my fears to bring up this insecurity on purpose, so I could have a look at it. So I marched into Ian's office downstairs, and I confronted Ian and I admitted to Ian that I said to Ian, I'm scared of you, Ian. I admitted to Ian, I'm scared of you because because I was scared to admit to Ian that I was scared of Ian. Then I went and I told the girl I fancied that I fancied her, just because I was scared to tell the girl I fancied that I fancied her. And so thank you, girl I fancied, as well. And thank you, Ian, as well. Then I went and I started opening up. I opened up to a lot of you here, all of you in the college. I started opening up to you about my problems, talking to them with you. And that was when things really started to take a positive turn. That's when things began to improve, because all of you shared your own perspective. You included Sarah. Every single one of you illuminated and shed light on my issues. And so there's a few people I'd like to thank. One of them is Solomon. Believe it or not, can you believe it? Actually helped me by persistently, all year long, determinedly sort of taking the piss out of me. And insulting me. And what that forced me to do was to laugh at my own insecurities or be tormented by him. And there's also Harry, Harry, Oscar, and Zia. Where are you at, Zia? He's playing. I want to thank you all because your humour and your laughter help me to take life less seriously, help me to laugh at these things. And really, that laughter is the best healing available. And so you've lit up not just my life, but everyone's life in the college here with your humour. And then Tree, Jamie, just a couple of people, other people as well, and Ryan. Ryan. Can't see him. There he is. Thank you all as well, just for listening, because that's all you really need to do, really. Just listen. And it was actually when I was talking to Haya downstairs in the library that I had the second great revelation of Ealing College. And that was that these insecurities, at their root, is really just a lack of self-love, a refusal and a resistance to accept and love oneself exactly as you are, regardless of how you feel you measure up compared to the rest of the world. And so every single one of us deserves our own unconditional self-love. You know, even if you're a freak, even if you're an absolute freak, you deserve your own unconditional self-love, especially, you know. So there you are. That's lesson number 2, unconditional self-love. Number 3, it's my favourite. That's to love this moment. This moment. Once I started doing some serious inner healing, right, and some of these problems from my insecurities began fading away, I took the initiative and I began filling the gap by creating new problems. So what I did was I began fostering an obsession. I began becoming obsessed with achievement. I began worrying about the future, worrying about what I was if I was doing enough, you know, and then berating myself if I didn't feel I was achieving enough, all the time, beating myself up. And this pressure that I forced on myself eventually reached breaking point, and I snapped. And I was like, shove this, and I threw my A-level books off the table for a day, and I said, I'm going to throw a massive party. And it was in the heat of the night, at this party, that I had the third great revelation of Ealing College. And that was that this anger at my parents was an obsession with the past. And this obsession with achievement was really just an obsession with the future. And, you know, the past, well, it's dead and gone. And tomorrow, it never comes. And all we are left with is this moment, right now. So, you know, if we want to find this good way of life that I've been dreaming of, we have to appreciate this moment. We've got to be thankful for it. We have to love this moment. We have to worship this moment, because this moment is all we ever have. This moment is the very magical essence of life itself. Anyway, that's it, people. Those are the 3 reasons. Just to reiterate, number 1, love and respect your parents. Number 2, unconditional self-love. And number 3, love this moment. Thank you all. Thank you all for being here right now. And I couldn't have done any of this without every single one of you. So thank you very much. And goodbye.
I don't know